and it is an issue. That was exactly what that was supposed to actually cover. Domiciliary account is meant to warehouse imports, or not just import, foreign earnings. And that is why it's dumb account. So I think we need to get that clearly stated, because where people now have to use Naira to buy domiciliary, to buy foreign exchange, put it in Nigeria with the hope of having, then it means that you are flying away from your local currency.
But again, if you had wanted to send it across, maybe you transfer from your DOM account,
yes.
You procure dollar with Naira, yes, and you put it in your domiciliary account for onward transfer.
Yeah.
What's wrong in that?
No, let me
because Nigerians are saying it was wrong because the banks refused them access to transfer such, to do even business or even help their families.
I will tell you what happened was this. We said, look, if you deposited dollar cash, you take the dollar cash. If you had a wired money, it can be wired. That was never stopped. Because it is also based on what I'm telling you, and a lot of countries have suffered for that. You can, a case in point is Ghana. You cannot move out a single dollar from Ghana if you did not earn it from overseas. And the issue is, we don't want a situation where everybody, we knew what we were going through.
Well, so the ones that are depositing, they didn't earn it?
Right? No, you are using Naira to buy dollar. There are different things which we need to get clear, and I think I need to put it straight.
Okay.
Because if you earn dollar, either by exporting or somebody sent it to you, it's wired into your account, you can wire it out. But the situation where we see people buying, using Naira, a couple of people did it. Because either, especially before the election, people thought things were going to go where, okay, let me just get my money in dollars.
Pardon me, but the policy,
yes,
stopped everybody from depositing dollars, whether you earned it in Naira or in dollars.
No. Wired money was still coming in. Wired money was coming in. It's the dollar cash. We never stopped people depositing. Wired money was coming into the bank.
So expatriates who earned their money in dollars,
dollar cash,
what did you do to them?
Expatriates who earned their money in dollars. Mm-hmm. Well, mind you, they were not all earning. The banks were still paying them because that money is not deposited, because it's wired. Expatriates who earn their dollar is not paid from here. They don't earn dollar from here. The parent companies pay the dollar, and they wire it into their accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the CBN has asked that BDCs go source their funds by themselves. People are afraid that this could further pressure the Naira on the parallel market. What is your reaction to that? As at, I think, Monday evening at the airport, dollars were going for as high as 285 Naira to the dollar.
Yeah, just like I said yesterday, you see, there will be an initial market reaction to policies. And let me also say that one thing I will want to actually solicit for Nigerians is that we should learn to make money and not trade money. Because a situation where CBN could be blamed that, okay, why did you allow this to stay up to this time? But you all know, my dear brother and sister here, that Central Bank of Nigeria is the only central bank in the whole world that is selling money to the BDCs. And I also want to state it clearly here that the trade done by BDCs and the amount they collect from central bank is minimal.
We've seen that in the CBN governor's statement.
Yes.
The question now is,
yes,
how do you hope to, where do you think that the BDCs will be sourcing their dollars from?
The BDC before now were not just solely dependent on central bank. They were getting money from other sources. Central bank gives the BDC now only 10,000. They don't just trade 10,000. They have always been getting the bulk of their trade is from autonomous sources. Ask any BDC.
So how do you think, if with the money that the central bank was giving them and the fact that they could source money from elsewhere, the price of the Naira to the dollar did not come down? I mean, the Naira did not appreciate against the dollar. Why is it that now that the CBN has stopped, the Naira would appreciate?
I'll tell you one thing, because basically, like I listened to the previous gentleman on your program. The fact is that people will start depositing dollar in the banks. the banks are going to start doing all the BTAs and what, because the BDCs in the first instance, actually this is what they are supposed to be doing, retail sales, 4,000, 5,000. But when you see the BDCs doing 1 million plus, it is an issue. So those retail banking which they are supposed to be doing, they should still be able, if they are really, I can tell you sincerely, if the BDCs were focusing on just selling 4,000, 5,000, we will not have this issue. And I'll give you an example.
And they're supervised?
They are supervised, but you can't be sure that we have 2,800 BDC. You can't supervise them on a regular basis. It's at interval, and they send returns through e-fax, which you see.
In spite of the fact that you try to increase their capital base?
Yeah.
Several times?
No, not several times, just once. The last one. Yeah, the last ones we did, and that was the whole lesson. And I'll tell you one thing, because the returns we have gotten from, what's it called, at the airport, shows that people come to buy as low as $200, $300, $1,000, but all the returns from BDC, none has been less than the maximum 4,000, 5,000. But that is not the issue. The issue is that what we are doing before, and like I said earlier, is that in a situation where there is scarcity, we need to get our priorities right. Basically, is BDC the priority now when foreign reserve has fallen? The major commodity from which we get our resources has declined from 116 this morning now to 30. So it is what do we want to use this for? It's better that the resources we have are diverted to...
You know, when you say, what do we want to use this for? They have clearly what they're doing, and that's why the demand and supply should be looked into. But in terms of getting some of these policies right, what would you say to those who think we seem to be placing the cart before the horse? Some of the countries you mentioned, they've got relatively steady power supply, and they've told you, look, if you fix power supply in this country, we may not be complaining about what we're complaining about today.
Yes, I've had that complaint severally, but the issue is, will we wait until all those things are done before we do the right thing? Basically, the government is doing that. We can see that priority is placed on infrastructure. And we know that with this going on, then we'll be able to get it right. I will tell you one thing. I will tell you my happiest moment was this Christmas, this December, when I went into the shops and I saw, even at ShopRite, I don't know whether I had it in Lagos, you see rice made in Nigeria label, and everybody was picking it up. Somebody had the gut and said, look, this foreign rice, throw it to the background. And that thing went down.
Maybe because he didn't invest in that. So that's
because I didn't invest.
No, the person that says throw it away.
No. You see, I want to tell you something, because I don't know, I'm old enough to know that in those days growing up, when my mother was boiling rice, I can perceive the aroma of rice far away. But these days, I need to get to my wife's kitchen to be able to know she's boiling rice. And that is because the rice we actually import, whether we like it or not, they are not fresh. There's no rice imported into this country that is less than 5 years old on the shelf. I can tell you that.